Die Hard 6 here. Yes, you were expecting Sue, but Sue's out water skiing in 50-degree weather. Why, I do not know she does that, but she does. And I'm grateful for all the help she gives this mission. But that's just not me. Okay, guys. Big things moving in the mission. We got a really good guest lined up for tonight. Remember to share this out, even if you're watching it in the replay. Sharing the mission is what counts. And let me push these buttons because you know how Sue usually does that stuff for me. Yeah, I couldn't do it. She's out water skiing. So we come here. We share this screen. We go here. We push this. We go there. There we are. All right. Remember, brothers and sisters, it's Memorial Day. Do not give up. Okay. Got it. My demon today is survivor syndrome. Okay. That's what I'm calling it. But I'm still in the fight for you all. Okay. I honored those I lost. I prayed for their families, but I kept the mission going because this is what drives me. God has moved mountains and big things are in place. But we need you guys to share this stuff out. Tell the world. Okay. The first big thing, we have been talking about this for months. Today is the day. Fill the Can 2025 has kicked off. Praise be to God. Okay. Our goal of $122,000 keeps our mission going. That's fob rush, that's outreach, that's everything it needs to keep going. Not grow, but to keep going. So every Monday, we're going to give an update starting next Monday. You're going to see this slide again. I'm going to put in from the general fund. You can find the general fund on our social media. You can go into any Paducah bank and say, I want to fill the can, and you'll fill the can. Remember, your donation is the ammunition to fight the war on veteran suicide. And if you don't think we're not fighting a war, I got news for you. All right. The next big thing, May 31st. Come on, guys, girls. I'm working with you. All those emails, all those text messages, all those things. You need to do this to grow your mission. You need to do this. No. You want to tell me? Then you have to bring yourself to Paducah, Kentucky. Because I'm going to look you in the eyes and you're going to explain to me why you think I have to do that. It's only fair. I don't tell anybody else how to run their organizations. So please do not sit there and tell me how to do mine until you've got blood, sweat, and tears into it. The open house, June 7th. This is a big day for us. We have the ability to be on the Veteran First Initiative telethon from 1 to 3 Central Standard Time, being broadcast through all of America and Canada. this is your day to come to Makanda, Illinois and see what we are doing. See what is going to be there. And just 4 slides tonight, because that's the important things that's going on. Do we need your help all the time? All right, now we do have this special guest, but before we do that, I got to bring on somebody that you know. She's been here forever and a day. She does her part all the way out there in Arizona, and I'm happy to call her friend and say thank you and God bless. Miss Debbie Hayes.
Thank you, Brian.
How you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Okay. Did you catch the update? Any questions?
I did catch the update. I I still didn't get a can set up because it's Google instructions, and Google instructions don't ever seem to be friendly to me. Sorry about that.
Look, people, I told you, you can still set up a virtual can. Susan
Okay.
at projectdiehard.org.
Okay, so just get Sue.
Yeah, get a hold of Sue somewhere out there in the land on our YouTube channel. I think it's at. She actually went through and set up a can.
Oh, okay.
So it's easy peasy, she tells me.
All right.
I don't set up cans.
So,
All right.
Can you tell me how well, if you have another guest, I'll be quiet.
No, let's talk a little bit. She's patiently waiting, but I do need to bring her in.
So how is the renovation going?
Slowly but surely.
Okay.
How do you eat an elephant?
One bite at a time.
There you go. Yeah. All right. But Debbie, hang on. Hope you can hang out because this next guest, Sue and Kurt, been working with her for a minute. She's out of Canada. She has this great program for my brothers and sisters. Let's bring her in and let her tell all about it.
Hello, Brian. Thank you. Hello, Debbie. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Christine.
I'm excited to be here on your Memorial Day. Got it. There we go. And I truly believe that self-regulation, which is a way to get your brain out of survival mode into the present moment, because our brains can hack our lives when they jump into that survival mode. And sometimes it's those little triggers, but sometimes it's those triggers. You're gone. And how do you get back? So my journey, I can just quickly, I know I only have a few minutes, so I'm going to be quick. My journey is I was an elementary school teacher for 30 years and saw so many kids who could not learn because of what was going on at home. And when I crashed and burned in kind of in 2017, 18, 19, and had to find solutions, docs were putting me on sick leave for life. And I said, there's no way I'm going on sick leave for life. I am young. I can do this. And in the trainings that I got to heal myself, looking out of the box solutions, I came to be able to hike again and to be able to gain my weight again and to leave the hard part behind and live a thriving life. During that process, I created a technique that I call snap, tap, and zap. So I would love to lead you through it. If Brian and Debbie and anybody else who's watching wants to give it a go, it's super simple. Even a 2-3-year-old could do this. So the first step, and I know some people like to listen and watch, so I'm going to do it over again so that you can choose your style. If you just want to jump right in with me, go ahead, jump right in. So the first step is to snap. So the reason why there's a snap, if you can't snap, you can clap, right? Stomp your foot, whatever you want. It's a noise you need to bring you back to reality, okay? So snap, take a nice deep breath in. And on the sternum, roughly at the heart level, I want you to tap gently. You can use both hands, one hand. As you breathe in, relax the shoulders, and I want you to exhale out. And then we just continue the process. Breathe in for about 3 seconds. Hold the breath for about 2. And we're going to add imagination. So I want you to imagine there's this train that you're going to blow the fear into. And that fear is going to be brought down into the magma to be burned. Okay, so I worked with kids for a long time. And adults can be kids too if they give themselves permission.
You never met Marines, have you?
Good. Yay. I'm happy to hear that. So we just keep breathing in, relaxing, noticing your body. Where's the tension? Where's the fear holding itself, right? And invite it. Thank your body for showing you and just blow it. The zap is blowing it out into the train. It just spirals down and burns it into the magma. Now, this part, believe it or not, was this 8-year-old who taught me the importance of having an object to blow it into, because some children, about 15% of the population, are highly sensitive. So what that means, for someone like me who is highly sensitive, I can be in a great mood driving along and all of a sudden I'm angry and I don't know why. It's because, and I know some people might find it hard to believe this. I did too at the beginning, but now I totally, it has changed my life completely to be able to just say, oh, I just picked up somebody's anger. Let's clear that out. And then and I'm back in a good mood. It was not my anger. So little kids, this little guy had said to me, I have this rotten carrot. And I said, let's blow it out. No, I can't blow it out, Christine. And unconsciously, he was afraid to give back the rotten carrot to his mom, right? I mean, it was his way of describing it because he had picked up his mom's anger about different things that had been going on in their family. And it wasn't mom's intention, right? And it wasn't dad's intention at all, but it's how this child did it. And at school, this child was hyperactive and couldn't focus. And I also knew from a neighbor that this child couldn't listen, like he was just all over the place. And after a few sessions, this child was able to listen, interact, because he wasn't carrying all this anger in him anymore. So I have, I don't know what your thoughts were on trying the technique. I'd love to hear how that went for you. How did you feel for just doing what we did? Did that feel good? Did that feel calmer?
That is a solid point. That's a solid program, guys. Because one of my things, and that's a new way I just learned how to do this, is what we call grounding.
Yes.
Okay. I'm not in Iraq. I'm not in Afghanistan. I'm not in a war. Yeah. But sounds, sights, smells take me back there.
Yes.
So we have to ground ourselves here and the now.
Yes.
That is a perfect program. A perfect program for us, brothers and sisters. but I have to relate this to your description
Yes.
because we are the only organization I know of bringing veterans with their families
Mm,
into a resident program.
yes.
So this is important for diehard to learn too, so we
Mhm.
can impart that onto their kids
Yes.
who's trying to absorb mom or dad's experience.
Yeah, and they don't do it consciously, right? These kids, they don't do it consciously. I picked up my parents fought a lot, and I'm just realizing now the impact that has had on my emotional well-being because we have different ways of coping. Some of us disconnect from reality. Some of us fight. Some of us run away from our problems. Some of us, there are so many different ways that the brain tries to keep us safe. But it gets to a point where it's not keeping us safe. And that's why we need to snap out of it, tap. And when we tap, there's a meridian point here. There are many different meridian points, but today was just the very basics of the snap, tap, zap. It sends a message to the brain, to the amygdala, which is the survival part of the brain, and it says you are safe. But your thoughts are saying, "No, I'm not. Part of me believes this sound triggered me," and I'm like, panicking, and until all of a sudden the brain will go, "You are safe." And it's really kind of cool. I'm a certified EFT master practitioner. And what that means, EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Techniques. And I found that my clients, between appointments, needed support. And that's part of why Snap, Tap, Zap came to, because it's super simple. And if you can't afford working with me, it's okay, because on my YouTube channel, I've got the Ripple Effect of Love for dads and families, and it's live weekdays at 1 p.m. Eastern, and it's free. Anyone who wants to learn, I'm on episode 103 today. So
Congratulations.
So you have a whole series. Start with episode 1 because it starts with self-love.
Now, see, folks, this is where things are moving mountains. Debbie, do you got any questions for our guest?
I don't. I do have a comment in
Go
that
ahead.
I had invited someone else on tonight.
Oh,
We were having technical difficulties.
Rosemary,
Yeah.
turn on your
So,
camera.
Rosanna, what about, did you catch this? I thought this sounded really good for students.
Oh, we
You're
can't hear
muted.
you, Rosanna.
Are you on mute?
Sorry, I am on mute.
There
Sorry.
you go.
Yeah, no, it sounded very familiar and similar to working with students in tapping. So
Yes.
tapping, yeah.
Yeah, it's just a simpler process than having even though and going through all the points, and
Mhm.
something that teachers can do. And I have it in a 2D video animation for kids that are 1 to 2 minute videos in a 12-day challenge. So with a workbook. So if you're interested in more.
Okay, that's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing.
You're welcome.
Yeah, look here, guys. Uh, this is part of our mission here. This is why she is here tonight.
Yeah.
It's not about, I give the mission update. This is some great content. I love this. Rosanna, tell us a little bit about you, because Debbie Hayes, look, you got an automatic buy because you're friends with Debbie, okay?
Debbie is the cutest woman ever. Not only do we go to the same church together, but I'm just so amazed on how connected, and she's just so into networking, which is awesome. I love it. But yeah, so met Debbie through our church, The Way, and I just recently shared with her that I'm at the beginning process of opening up a Christian private school here in Tucson. But she also shared your project on what you're doing, and I was like super excited because my business called Creation Specialized Services, we work with other nonprofits and businesses
Yeah.
to either help at the beginning stage with the planning or grant writing. And so she shared an effort that she's very interested in doing to help and support is having something locally here with the breakfast.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I'm like
That
super
is.
excited about that.
Yeah, we do a fellowship breakfast the first Wednesday of every month. Okay. That is our outreach program. Last month, 39 veterans came through. Praise,
That's awesome.
praise, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really
In the over the 4 years we've been doing that, that's the highest number of visitors at a breakfast, right? And my team is ecstatic. They are. My team is like, yay! And I'm like, no, guys. You know what impressed me on that day? The 5 first-time veteran visitors.
That's beautiful. And where do you guys usually host them at?
We do this at the IHOP here in Paducah, Kentucky. They work with us. They give us the room at no cost and give us a very good deal. I would love our ministry partners here locally have said, hey, if we host this at our church, we could save you money. Granted, right? I know this. But I have to remind them I have brothers and sisters that won't go near a church. And I have to help them all. So I can't. You understand my reasoning?
True, but it's also pretty awesome because well, I understand, reaching people for Christ, but it's also awesome when you see a group gathered, like at an IHOP, and other people are like, what's that, what's going on? You
Oh,
get to
yeah.
connect with other people that you typically wouldn't be able to connect with if you were at your church. So I
Yeah.
understand.
Again, we invite the community. Our tagline for that breakfast is "Come break bread with heroes."
nice.
Well, I
Come
think,
break bread with heroes. Uh,
Brian,
yes, ma'am.
I think what another valid point is that your mission is to have a breakfast and have a physical facility in every state. And I just think it's important that a veteran knows that they can check with the IHOPs if they're in a different city, a different state, and find out if there's a breakfast available. If the
Yep.
breakfast is at a private location, then it's not going to be as easy to find.
True. We are still working with IHOP corporate, but you know how that is working with corporate. Got a lot of people say, that's great. That's great. Good. Can you make that decision? No. Why am I talking to you? Yeah, folks. Debbie knows this. The pedal on the screen. My team, Kurt and Sue. You know Kurt and Sue.
Yep.
They're my ambassadors. They're my team. I come onto this podcast because I give the update. Because I believe in full transparency. If you want to join the team, reach out. My team will take you through the process. When you get to me, you get a private Zoom link, and we do the signing of the memorandum stuff. I'm no better than anybody else, folks. But God has moved this mission so big in the past year, I have to put those in place
Mhm.
or I get pulled everywhere.
Mhm.
Did you leave on purpose? Hello. Where'd you
Hi.
go?
And there
I
we
don't know
are.
what happened.
I don't know either. I'm like,
I
did
just-
I offend her?
No, it just went blank and my face stayed on. I was like, oh, I guess the connection went out. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. But yeah, look, folks. Debbie has been helping this mission for well over a year, doing everything she can. Which all I can say to you, Debbie, is thank you and God bless.
Oh, you're welcome. My pleasure.
Because without support like you,
Mhm.
we couldn't do what we do. This is why Fill the Can is so important. This is our annual capital campaign. This refills the coffers. This is why I ask everybody, pray for our mission.
It's not time yet.
Share our mission.
Mhm.
Volunteer for our mission. And patron if you can. But it's not time yet. Yeah, I'll deal with you later. Here is the one thing I can say that's good about my team doing all their hard work. I get to ignore people at times.
It's a choice, right? And it's our mental health as well to be able to say, just a minute. And sometimes we can self regulate before we take a call for our own mental health so that whatever
That's
that person says does not trigger us as much.
I know where that conversation is going to go. That's why I'm saying I'll deal with that later.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I do have to get mentally right for that conversation.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
So, I guess I think I covered what I needed to cover today because of what the day is.
Mhm.
Come on, folks, let's have a discussion.
Can Rosanna give a little bit of information about the school that she's planning on opening?
Yeah. Rosanna, we're
Yes,
really
sir.
going to have to talk because I'm torn because we are bringing veterans with families, right?
Uh-huh.
I got people beating me up about doing school on our facilities.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yes, that's interesting. But I don't know enough of that world.
What are they trying to see happen with a school being built on your facility?
Well, we're faith-based and scripture-led.
Uh-huh.
That is an option that people want me to have available to our veterans to put their kids in a Christian school. But I'm like, there's Christian schools everywhere. Why should we have to accrue that cost?
Uh-huh. Well, it's always good in partnership, right? I think our Father in heaven, I don't know, I don't want to assume, but I want to assume that he smiles very, very broadly when he sees his children playing nice together, right? When we're working together, you're the hands, I'm the feet.
Speak it. Speak it, sister. Speak it.
And so anytime we can do something in collaboration, it's great. Also too, the older generation pouring into the younger generation and the younger generation learning from the older generation, hands down, will always be a blessing.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot to be learned by our veterans. And there is a lot of our younger generation that want to make an educated decision on joining, the military in whatever capacity. And what better way to get firsthand experience and wisdom from our veterans? There's something very special and unique of our veterans. They have profound wisdom that can be contributed to any type of school, whether it's a public school or a private school. But I do say a Christian private school, great, because the foundation of the schools is the Bible. And so in collaboration, how great is that? And so
I'm in total agreement. Because since day one, I have been saying, when the kingdom comes together, more will be done.
Amen.
Yeah.
Okay. The first community support program member we seek are ministry partners. I ask my ministry partners, and this is the only thing I ask them for: prayer, share our mission, and volunteer.
Yeah, and that private school can look differently too. It doesn't necessarily have to be a elementary, middle school kind of school. It could be where it's like a trade school working with veterans.
We are, again, we'll set up a meeting later and talk the shop aspect of this.
Yeah.
But tell everybody in my community what you're attempting to do.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm super excited to answer the call of opening up this Christian private school. It's called Kingdom Grace Academy. We're at the very beginning process of doing our 501c3, tentatively being opened next school year, but really working with our community to be known, investing in students prior to, families prior to. And where it really stemmed from was, I have a daughter. She's being homeschooled right now. But for the longest time, I've tried to find her a private school to attend elementary, middle school, and now high school. And with her severity of her disability academically, I cannot find a Christian school that would take her. And so I've hit wall after wall after wall. And I have found through the years that obviously my daughter is not the only one that's experiencing this. And so I've been an educator for over 13 years, been in the public school, have done my due diligence, love the public school and serving the students that I served. But I really, for my children, I've always wanted them to be in a private school, learning the word and being around peers that are learning the word. And so unfortunately, my daughter hasn't had the opportunity to do so. And so instead of complaining, grumbling, and becoming bitter, being church hurt about it, I'm like, what am I going to do? And the thing is that I try to like hand off that, like, well, maybe there is Christian school. So I did my research. I searched all the schools here in Tucson, and they do have special education in their private schools, but it's at a certain point, and my daughter falls into that certain point where they're not able to provide services for her, so they won't accept her. And again, there's other families that are denied going to a particular Christian school because they just don't have the service for those students. So going back again, I've partnered with churches thinking maybe I can collaborate and build something, but I keep falling into the category of this mission and vision that you're seeking does not fit in our Christian school. So again, hitting another wall, I'm like, okay, so maybe it's me trying to fit God in a box, right? So I'm like, all right.
No.
No.
Not going to do that anymore. And now I'm just going to accept the call and just move forward. And so that's what we're doing. We're building a school that will be servicing all types of students, whether they're kids with special needs or a general education student that needs a smaller classroom size, that is going to focus on first the Bible and number 2 academics, and meeting them where they're at. So
Okay.
that's what we're doing.
All right. Hey, folks.
I would like to connect you to someone, Roseanne. If you can give me your email, I'll connect you to someone who has a beautiful podcast, Life on the Spectrum, and she has been like all around. So I think it would help you. And I know quite a few people that are in the disability area, and maybe they can support you or have resources that can support you.
That will point you in the right direction.
Yeah.
Well, I would love to connect too, also with what you're doing with your guys' ministries too, because the focus is, yes, meeting the needs of the children and sharing the Bible, but it's also the core of it is servant leadership. So really capturing what Jesus did, right? And he met the needs of the people through love and discipling. And so that is literally what we're going to be doing. And so the kids are my daughter and another potential future student already started showing me like what that looks like. And we went to a hospice last week, and they did such a great job serving the elders there and just loving on them. It was so beautiful, and it just made me super excited for the future of the school and the future students. I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait.
Again, folks, you see, this is God moving mountains.
Amen.
Okay, Debbie has been helping us for well over a year. Now we have Roseanne in the mix. We will be talking about education down the road at our facilities. But what I will offer for you, Roseanne, is I started Project Die Hard in 2018 with God will never leave the mission. We will never use the suffering of veterans for profit, and there's no drugs or alcohol allowed. Those are my 3 golden rules. If you can't follow those, I don't need to talk to you. But I like your style. And if you want to know how to start a nonprofit the wrong way, I'm here for you, girl.
Oh, in 2017, I started a nonprofit, and I did the same thing. So
Okay,
yeah, I would love to share what we shouldn't do notes.
Again, folks, this is teamwork. I already sit on a Wednesday morning Zoom with a bunch of other veteran nonprofit leaders, and every once in a while I got to go, hey guys, we're here on a mission. We're not here to gripe about our volunteers. If you're not grateful for your volunteers, I don't know what to tell you, but they're the lifeblood of our organizations. And if you don't think that, maybe you're in the wrong line.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
okay, but folks, snap, tap, and zap.
Yep.
We're going to have to figure out something else on that last one. Snap, tap. Because when you say zap, you know what runs through my mind?
Oh.
And this is just the veteran mindset.
Yes, yes.
Tasers.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but you want to taser the anger. You want to taser the trigger.
No. My brothers and sisters will take tasers to one another.
No. Please
Okay.
don't. Please don't. That is definitely not what my intention was.
I understand. Look, I understand that, but I have to reiterate to my brothers and sisters out there, the zap is not taser related.
No, it's release related. Release related. Snap, tap, release if you want, but it doesn't rhyme. So I used to call it Snap, Set, Go, but I changed it to Snap, Tap, Zap because I created for the little ones, and then the adults had a different title and the kids had a different title, so it didn't work. So then I called it all Snap, Tap, Zap.
Oh, look. I'm not saying anything, but it's your title. You name it. I just
Yeah.
got to make sure my brothers and sisters
Yes.
don't,
Yes.
because who better to run a veteran nonprofit than a veteran? Because my mindset still relates to them of
Yeah.
nap, tap, and then zap.
Thank you, though, for bringing it to my attention because I never thought of that. I think it's interesting.
Look,
I'll
I'm
see
here
what
to
else I can come up with.
You don't have to come up with anything else. I just got to make sure that my brothers and sisters understand this is a grounding technique.
Yes. Yeah.
This is not snap your finger, your friend turns his head, you tap him, and then you zap him.
So I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, but I've spent my time with infantry guys. I
Okay.
love them to death. I have nothing bad to say about them.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't explain things like a 2-year-old sometimes,
Yeah. It might be misunderstood. So thank you for explaining it
no. It's
in a
not
whole different
misunderstood.
way.
I just know
I will remember this. I think it'll be on my podcast, on my live tomorrow. I'll say, if there are any veterans listening,
this is not how you do it.
Well, that's why I'm always doing it, right? But I
No,
appreciate.
look, I'm a medic. I understand.
Yeah.
But see, this is why I bring out veteran issues. Like Rosanna,
Yes, sir.
May 31st at Operation Wisdom, right? I don't know if you were here for the brief or not. But I have a Christian covering the Bible on hope and cooperation. I have the Torah being covered on hope and cooperation. And I have the Quran being covered on hope and cooperation.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. I would love to hear all the perspectives on that.
Find us on social media. We will be streaming it live that portion of the day.
Okay. Yeah, I was actually just looking for you guys on Facebook right now, so just found you.
You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube.
Awesome.
Okay. Like, follow, share, folks. That's all I got for you.
If I may add, can I just add something quickly, Brian?
Go ahead.
When Roseanne was talking and you were talking about having veterans talk to the kids, when I was teaching, we would have on Remembrance Day in Canada, we would have veterans come and talk to the students. And the students always loved it because there's so many things that they are not aware of. You know, they see TV and they have a picture of what it is to be in the Army, while the reality is quite different, and it brings a whole new perspective to their
And I am honored every time I go. I will go to elementary schools, no issue, and talk about service.
Yeah.
I quit going to high schools.
No?
No.
Not even through like ROTC and stuff like that?
No, I will not go into a high school because I don't need some young individual asking me, have I killed anybody?
Oh.
That's just their mindset. That's the first question they're going to ask. And I got it. but that's kind of a private thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
okay. You need to respect yourself in
Yeah.
that.
Well,
I also know it's a good coachable, teachable moment for kids that's like their first
Yeah.
go-to, but really talking about like your testimony on why you even went into serve and what you went through, and open their eyes to a whole new world. That's for sure.
I do that whole thing, why I serve,
Mhm.
what I did,
Yeah.
right, all that.
Mhm.
And they still ask you.
And they still ask that
Yeah.
stupid question.
Yeah.
Okay. And it is a stupid question.
Yeah.
Now, okay, all you haters, you're going to say, you all say there's no such thing as a stupid question, but you just called that question stupid. Welcome to my world.
My son and I just finished watching American Sniper, and wow, it's just
Chris
that's just
Kyle?
like, huh?
Kyle? Great guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is why, folks. Well, when I Google you, your mailbox comes up at a UPS office. Yes, it does. I learned. Kyle was killed by a veteran he was helping.
Mhm.
Mm.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. My job is to protect my family too.
Yeah, it's just solidifies the craziness that the world
We
that we
live
live in,
in?
right? It's pretty
Oh, yeah.
sad.
Yeah. All right, guys, we're coming up. We're going to be a little short, but we're going to start with Rosanna. A message of hope for my brothers and sisters, because that's how we close every show.
Well, since we're on Memorial Day, yeah, God has definitely blessed many of us that are remembering our fallen ones, and just blessed us with great heroes. And I'm so grateful to come on your podcast to hear about what you're doing, and I just love what he's doing through your ministry and through your nonprofit. It's very amazing. That is definitely a means of hope for many. And so I'm very encouraged by it, and I hope that Debbie and I can help in some and more capacities here in Tucson, because we have a lot of veterans here, and that really need the hope over here as well. So that's some hope for me, that we can have
There
something here
you
in
go.
Tucson.
Christina, what do you got?
My message of hope is what keeps me going in those very dark moments is there's always somebody that's going through something worse than I am, and being grateful for what I do have, even if it's just electricity and a roof or whatever it is. Focus on what's working for you, and remember that some people have gone through much worse than what we've gone through, and to me that gets me out of there. And of course, snap, tap, zap that fear away. Get grounded in the moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Debbie?
Yeah. My message of hope is just for people to take advantage of the services and the support that's offered. If Project Die Hard can be of assistance to them in any way, hopefully that. And if
Mhm.
not, find something else, another person, another organization
Yep.
that can give them hope and support.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Hang on. When I'm done, we're going to go offline, but hang out in the room, please. Brothers and sisters, it's Memorial Day. Honor our fallen. Remember their sacrifice.
Amen.
That's what we do today. And just because we're sitting here alive and well doesn't mean they gave it up in vain. That doesn't mean
Mhm.
you need to quit. No.
No.
You don't need to join them. That was God's plan for them and not for you. Do not give up this fight.
Mhm.
All right. Join us next week because the big thing we're going to be talking about on that one is the first week results of Fill the Can 2025. Y'all stay safe, stay strong. Die Hard 6 out.